Hey guys, my name is Sasha. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be talking about the books that I read in June. So for the month of June, I actually got Abby to pick my TBR, which I'll leave the video up there and down below so you can watch that. So she chose 6 books for me to read, and I also had the Buzzword Readathon in the middle of June as well. So I won't be talking about the books I read for that, but I'll leave all those links down below. I did read 3 books for the Buzzword Readathon, which was really good for me. All in all, in June, including the Buzzword Readathon, I read 11 books, which is really exciting. Let's just get into the books that I read. So the first book I actually finished in June was Rumble Star by Abby Elphinstone. This was actually an arc from Simon & Schuster. So thank you, Simon & Schuster, for sending me a copy for a honest review. I loved Rumble Star. So Rumble Star is a middle grade portal fantasy, which already just wants me to just like reach for this book. And it focuses on this 11-year-old called Casper Tock. And Casper is at this boarding school in London. And he only goes to this boarding school because his parents are teachers here. And what I actually love about this is that Casper is actually black, which was so good. So we've got a black main character already. So main character of color, yes, that's just amazing. So he hates taking risks. He hates going off his timetable. He doesn't want to make friends because he thinks that will basically steer him away from the goal of just getting through high school. Then when he is trying to hide from one of the bullies at this school, and basically they're only bullying him, first of all, because he's poor, because his parents work at the school and that's the only way he got into the school, and then secondly, because he is not white. So there is a bit of racism in this book, just content warning for you. So when he's hiding from these bullies, he hides in like this grandfather clock. Then something happens and he opens up the clock and he's realized he's now actually in a tree and he's not where he was. And this is where he meets the amazing Utterly Thankless. So Utterly Thankless is a girl from Rumble Star who is trying to prove herself because of mistakes that she's made in the past, which FYI just wasn't her mistakes. She finds Casper and was like, okay, you're the guy that I'm supposed to be taking in, you're the criminal. So she takes him in and they realize that the law is actually kind of not good. So they then realize that they have to go and try and save this Rumble Star, because saving Rumble Star will save the world where Casper is from. And they go on this amazing adventure. I love how Casper actually steps out of his comfort zone and starts taking risks and actually enjoys it, and he actually makes a friend along the way. And I also love how this book focuses on grief and losing a loved one, because Utterly has lost a family member and she thinks it's her fault. And the way that Abby Elphinstone actually spoke about this in this book, I think it would be amazing for any older children or young teenagers who have lost a loved one. They can see it in this book and it actually will help them. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars because it was so good, and I cannot wait to read the next book in the Unmapped Chronicles. And I just want to thank Simon & Schuster again for sending me this. It actually comes out today, so I'm filming this on the 1st of July, but you can definitely go pick this up, and I definitely suggest you do pick this up because I felt like it was a mix of the Chronicles of Narnia and the Wizard of Oz, and I really love this book. And plus it features a miniature dragon. Like, what else could you want in a book? The next book I picked up, and I actually did this with a buddy read with Abby, and that was Shatter Me by Tahara Murphy. This book I gave 4 out of 5 stars because Juliet kind of annoyed me, and both Warner and Adam were a bit creepy, and so I don't really see the big deal about this book yet. But I know that the second and the third book actually surpass this first book in ways that no one can really talk about. So I'm excited to get into the others. But Shatter Me was good. Like, I kind of am sad that I missed out on reading it when I was younger. Like, I feel like I would have really enjoyed this when it did first come out, and I still enjoyed it now. I like Juliet. She, like I said, she's a bit annoying, but she has been locked up for ages and she hasn't really had any relationships with anyone. So then when these two guys come into her life and want to be with her, of course she's going to go a bit crazy because what's going on? I'm really excited to read the next book. I actually did pick up Destroy Me, which is the novella between Shatter Me and the second book. And reading Destroy Me actually changed my views on Warner. Like, I felt so bad for thinking he was such a douchebag. But I also think, like, was the author trying to make up for making Warner a douchebag and being like, oh, he was like abused when he was a kid and his dad's a dickhead and he was actually trying to save this family? And I don't know, but I think I do need to read the next book to actually understand my feelings, which I will be reading this month. But yeah, I gave Shatter Me 4 out of 5 stars, and I did give Destroy Me 4 out of 5 stars as well. The next book I read, I actually listened to on script, and that is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McKiston, and I love this book. Oh, I love Alex, I love Henry, I just love them both, and I love them separately, and this book just shattered me. Okay, Shatter Me didn't shatter me. Red, White and Royal Blue shattered me. So good. And I cannot believe that it is, I have a feeling it's going to be my favorite book of the year because so good. I don't know why I love like contemporary romances so much, because I love my fantasy. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like sometimes like young adult fantasy just isn't doing it for me anymore. So you have the son of the President of the United States and the Prince of Wales, who hate each other, but then they fall in love with each other because they realize they don't actually hate each other. They actually love each other, and that's why they hate each other. And I just hate to love. I love hate to love. It's so good. And these two were just so good, and they were talking about Star Wars, and their text conversations were so good, and I just... This book broke my heart and then put it back together, and I haven't felt this much feeling about a book since I read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo last year. So you all just need to pick this up. I actually have asked the library to order it in for me, and then when they do it, I'm going to read it again in the physical format because it's so good and I love it so much. Obviously, I gave Red, White and Royal Blue 5 out of 5 stars. Duh. The next book I picked up for June was The Hate Race by Maxine Benema Clark. This book I gave 5 out of 5 stars as well. So this is about growing up Black in Australia. So Maxine Benema Clark actually wrote this memoir. She is from Afro-Caribbean descent. So her father's line is from Jamaica and her mother's line is Guyanese. And they actually moved from those respective places over to London, and then they met in London, and then they came to Australia after they got married, and then they had their 3 kids. And just growing up in Australia, like, I knew we sucked as people, as a nation, like in the 80s, but I didn't realize how bad until I read this book. She does get asked, like, she's 8 years old, and because she is a different color, they're like, oh, where are you from? And she's like, I was born in Australia. And they're like, no, where are your parents from? And she's like, London. And they're like, no, honey. And I'm like, she's 8. Like, what the fuck? I just don't, oh. And I started highlighting things that made me cranky, but I think I stopped because I knew that if I kept highlighting things that made me cranky, the whole fucking book would be. And not because it was a shit book, because it was an amazing book, but because of all these poor people. No, because of this poor girl that got asked all these stupid racist things, and I can't find it now, but there was this one passage that just freaking pissed me off. And I hope that those teachers and those old classmates have seen this book now and realized how stupid and mean and disgusting they were. Now, here we go. Yeah. So, the teacher goes, where are you from? And the daughter's like, my mum's tummy. She's like, that's not what I meant, Maxine. Then Maxine is like, from her vagina? Like, she's 8. Of course she... And then the teacher goes, you're a rude girl. You know what I'm asking. What country were you born in? She's like, I was born in Australia. You know, where are your parents from? And she's like, they came here from England. And then a classmate was actually, they're not from England. My nan is from England, and your parents are not like her. And, okay. So, they're asking her what her parents do for work. So the dad actually came to Australia from England because he was teaching at a university. I think he was doing like some really smart math or science or something. I have no idea. And so, so she's like, my mum is an actress because her mum actually was doing plays and stuff before she had the kids, and she stopped doing plays because she had the kids. So she's like, my mum is an actress and my dad is a mathematician. After she was like saying all this stuff, the teacher actually cut her off, and Maxine says, she's like, I glared at her angrily. I wanted the other kids to know everything about me. All of the things they hadn't asked because I was just the brown kid. Today was my one opportunity to let everyone know I wasn't just that. The teacher goes, is your mum really an actress? The teacher's like, I think you have a very vivid imagination. What does your father really do for a job? He's a mathematician. Maybe I got the word wrong. It was a very hard word. And then the teacher's like, I think we'll get your parents in here for Careers Day to talk about what they actually do. Oh, I hope that teacher realizes what a freaking douchebag she was. This girl was 8. I think that everyone needs to pick this book up because it's just a really like eye-opening way to how we talk to people, and it's not on. So glad I did pick this up, and I'm very, very passionate. I hope that I raise my kids to be inclusive of everyone and not to be like pigs. Because that's what they were. And the next 3 books I read were for the Buzzword Readathon. So if you want to watch that video, it'd be linked down below. So the next book I picked up after the Buzzword Readathon was The Winner's Curse by Marie Rachowski. This book I gave 3 out of 5 stars because it didn't really get interesting until the last 50 pages because like it was talking about the battles and all that. So I feel like Aaron, he's only in love with the main character because that's the story, but he's like a really high up general in the like other side of the war, and he keeps like he's wanting to not kill, but he's like trying to enslave all of Kestrel's people, but like keeping Kestrel fine. Like that's not gonna make you win the girl. Like this book was really annoying. And I don't know if I'm going to pick up the next book. I think I want to because of that ending. But yeah, I'm still like on a high from raging about the hate race. But yeah. Then I actually listened to Dating You, Hating You by Christina Lauren. This is a weird lovers to enemies to lovers book in the workplace. It was alright. Like I wanted to try Christina Lauren out, and I thought I would give one of their older books a chance before I read The Honeymooners. And I'm glad that I did because apparently this book, Dating You, Hating You, wasn't one of their best books. But I enjoyed it still. Like Carter, super sexy. I don't know why I found him so attractive. Evie was kind of like, they both were very childish when they were like doing those pranks. It tied up in a nice little bow at the end, but yeah, it was all right. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, not much to tell about this book. And then I read Ironcast by Destiny Soroya. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I love this book. Like, there were some things that kind of like It didn't quite get to the 5 stars because it wasn't as thrilling as some other books. Like, it didn't capture my interest fully. Like, so it focuses on Corinne and Ada, and they are hemopaths, is that what it's called? They have a different sort of blood type, which gives them magical powers, basically. And I love the premise of this book. But then actually, it kind of went off on a weird tangent at the end. And I think that's why I didn't give it 5 out of 5 stars, because of that weird ending where it didn't end up being a fight against the hemopaths. It was against the law of not selling alcohol or something. I don't know. Yes, so it's like a historical urban fantasy because it's set in 1919. I was half expecting the brother of Corinne to be one as well, but he wasn't, because he was marrying into like the big bad guys, like who wanted to kill basically the hemopath. But yeah, it was good. I really am happy that Abby got me to read it because she did send me this book, and I'm really excited that I did get to finish it. I don't think there's a sequel, but I feel like there could be a sequel in the future, which I will definitely pick up. All in all, it was a really good book, and I think people should pick it up. So all in all, I read 11 books in June. I think I did really well in June. I think I worked out it was just over 2,500 pages, and I did track my reading this month. So you see here, those are all, like, those are the pages I read. I didn't actually finish that because I couldn't remember what books when I was listening to and how long I was listening to it, because I do listen to my books on a faster speed. I don't think it tracks it as well. I don't know. But yeah. So Abby did choose 6 books for me, and I did only read 4 out of those 6, which I think is really good. I feel that if those 2 other books did have audiobooks, I would have picked them up, but unfortunately they didn't. But I'm glad that I did read the audiobooks that I did. So these are all the books that I read in the month of June. I cannot believe, like I said, I cannot believe 11 books. I read 11 books, guys. That's crazy. But let me know if you have read any of those books and talk to me about it in the comments below, because I love talking to you about the books that I've read and who else has read Red, White, and Royal Blue, because it was so good. Like, you need to pick it up if you haven't, because yes. I definitely suggest you pick up The Hate Race, because good. It was just, yes. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to be my friend, you can add me on Goodreads, Bookstagram, or Twitter. They're all at sashreads, and I will talk to you later. Bye.